Hey everybody, today I'm going to take a look at this 1500 watt 8 liter water heater. So this is a small little 8 liter water heater that you're going to be able to install underneath your sink or something like that. This is an area on the other side of the house opposite of where the water heater is, so it takes a long time for any kind of hot water to show up in the faucets themselves. So I think this little water heater is going to do a great job with kind of preheating that water for people to use when they're washing their hands. So in the package, you're going to get the water heater itself, and this does have a standard 110 plug on the end of it here. You're going to get your instruction manual, which this has a lot of detail on how to hook it up and make sure that your plumbing's all set up correctly. You're going to get this little discharge hose that will attach to this safety valve. So the safety valve is basically the same type of pressure valve that would be found on a regular water heater. Basically, if it gets too hot or the pressure builds up too much, this little valve, there's a spring in here that's going to pop and then basically let the water flow out. So when you hook this up, you want to make sure this is hooked up to a drain or something along those lines. In this case, we have a utility sink on the opposite side of this sink, so we're going to have it drain into that drain through the wall. So you're also going to get some Teflon tape, which you'll be able to use to wrap on the ends here, and a set of mounting hardware and some little washers. So when you're setting this up, you're going to need to make sure that you see what other kind of hardware you may need for the installation. Obviously, you're going to need some tools to be able to do this, some wrenches. But in this case, you're going to want to be using your 1/2 inch supply lines to attach to the water heater, and then whatever kind of connections that you have to your sink or to the inlet line, you're going to want to make sure that you have those. So first thing I'm going to want to do is I'm going to install the safety valve, and to do that you're just going to take some of this Teflon tape, wrap it around the outside here, just a couple times will do. You can pull that, and you can see here it does have a little washer already built into it. So we're just going to go ahead and screw this on and tighten it down. And it doesn't have to be ridiculously tight. You just need enough so it's not going to leak. So here I've got my supply in, and I'm going to hook that up to the blue here on the water heater itself. Next I have my hot out, and you're just going to hook that up the same manner. And again, these don't need to be ridiculously tight. You don't want to break anything. You just want them tight enough that they're snug up on there with a wrench and that they're not leaking. So then this is going to hook up to the faucet up here on the top next. So now I have my supply line hooked up, my drain hose from the safety valve hooked up to the other room with the drain, and then the outlet here is going up into the faucet. So your next thing you want to do is turn on your water slowly, and this will be so you can check for leaks and also to let the water heater fill up. And one thing I would recommend is to open the drain up here, and we're going to let all the water out. You can see all the air is out, so we're going to go ahead and shut that off and turn on the unit itself. So turning the unit on is super easy. All you're going to do is flip this up, and that light will kick on. And obviously the water, since I had been running the water so much, there's warm water in here now from the main water heater. But you'll be able to set this to whatever temperature you may want to use. What I would recommend first is to set it maybe towards the middle and see if it's hot enough. If not, turn it up. If it's too hot, turn it down.